Hello and welcome to today's Bitrix24 webinar. Thank you for joining today. Hello and welcome to today's Bitrix24 webinar, self-hosted advantages. Thank you very much for. So first of all, let's just go through some introductions. So I'm Sam Connor, sales manager here at Interface, and we are Bitrix24 Gold partners based in the UK, the US, and Hong Kong. And we offer a full range of services to assist you with Bitrix24. So starting off with pre-sale support, so we can help you to and evaluate the Bitrix24 system. So really understand if Bitrix24 could be a suitable fit for your key needs. And if it is, we have our own team here that can implement the system. So we can set up Bitrix24 so it's exactly how you need it to work. If you are looking at the self-hosted system, which we're going to be focusing on today, we can provide you with our hosting service. And we also provide tailored training and ongoing support to help businesses get the most possible value out of the Bitrix24 system. Okay, so if you're joining today's webinar to actually just understand a bit more about what Bitrix24 actually is, let's just cover a bit more at a high level what this system does. So Bitrix24 is a collaboration suite of well in excess now of 40 different tools that you can use to help you to manage your business. And there are over now 15 million businesses around the world that use the Bitrix24 system. And it's available in two different versions. So it's available in the cloud, and there's also a self-hosted solution. So when we say self-hosted, essentially it's a private cloud solution, also called on-premise solution as well. So you can host this on your own local server, private cloud, or here at Interface, we can provide you with our hosting service. Then in terms of pricing, so prices start from $49 per month on a basic cloud system and $3,590 for the self-hosted solution. That starts at the Business 50 tier. And then in year two and ongoing annually, you'll pay a 50% renewal fee to continue to access the system. Okay, so let's take a look now. We're going to go into a bit more in detail now about the self-hosted solution. If you have any questions as we go through this, please do just add them into the question box and we can discuss those questions as we go through today's webinar. Okay, so first of all, let's just go through a bit more information about the different editions of Bitrix24. So essentially, we have two different choices when it comes to the on-premise. So we first of all have the self-hosted business edition. This is the most popular and usually the most suitable solution for most businesses. Okay, so with this, you get access to all of the additional functionality that the self-hosted version has, including branding, ability to set up the branded extranet site, help desk and e-learning tools, and you can obviously use the source code as well for any additional customization requirements. And so that starts at the Business 50 version. So that's 50 seats on the system. And it goes up into tiers of the 100, 250, and then 500 user version. And then secondly, we have our Bitrix24 Enterprise system. So the Enterprise version, this is our most advanced product, and it allows a company to establish an unlimited number of intranets, which can all be managed by a single global administrator. So you could create an unlimited number of sites here. So for example, we have some clients, for example, that have companies that operate in multiple countries. and they need to have individual sites with different languages for each country. So that's a clear example as to why businesses use the enterprise version of Bitrix24. And being able to manage that from one global centralized control panel, it's very efficient for teams to be able to manage users across all of those different sites. Now, in terms of the enterprise, so the enterprise starts at the enterprise 1000. So that's 1,000 seats on the system. And if you need to add additional seats, then you can simply purchase additional 1,000 seat packs to add more users onto the enterprise system. Okay, so that is a look there at the different editions of our self-hosted system. And now let's discuss some of the benefits in more detail. So one of the main benefits of the self-hosted solution is the ability to customize the product. So it allows you to be a fully customizable Bitrix24 platform. So in terms of that customization, let's just discuss a bit about those capabilities. Okay, so in terms of the branding, so we can design login pages, very popular. So you can redesign the login page to Bitrix. Logos can be added, and you can also then have Bitrix on your own domain. There's also the control panel. So if we go through a bit more about the additional benefits, the control panel is essentially the area for administrators to make changes to modules, and modules can then be configured in very advanced ways within that control panel. So if you're currently using a cloud version of Bitrix, then I think you'll be extremely impressed with the additional functionality available within the control panel. Of course, there is full access to the source code. So this means if the customization you want, if it can't be configured within the control panel, it is usually possible to do this directly in the code. Now, when we talk about this, Bitrix, it's built on its own framework in PHP. So changing that source code, it really should only be attempted if you have experience of PHP, as well as very good knowledge of the Bitrix24 platform itself. We've seen people who tried to make these changes using that code, and it can cause damage to the system. So it is really critical that you get expertise from a partner such as Interface. We are the #1 on-premise solution partner with a huge amount of experience in managing and customizing the on-premise system. So you can always get in contact with us if that's something that you are interested in. Okay, moving on from the source code there, we've got integrations. So the full API is available on the self-hosted solution, allowing you to integrate with thousands of other applications. And so we can build you a very tailored integration that's designed exactly how you need it to work. And then finally, there are additional features. Okay, so on the self-hosted solution, have a number of extra features that aren't available on the cloud, such as the help desk, e-learning, and analytics module. Okay, so that's just some of the benefits. Now, let's say if you were looking at your cloud version of Bitrix, let's say some of those customization capabilities were really of interest to you. Well, what we can do is we can move you from the cloud to the on-premise solution. So what we would need to do is discuss your requirements and needs in more, and then we'd be able to understand how that migration process would work from the cloud to the self-hosted system. So if it's something you're interested in, please do contact us, sales@interface.com, and one of our team can have a conversation with you to see what effort and work is involved to migrate you from the cloud to the on-premise system. And then you can then start to take advantage of the on-premise features in your business. And a lot of businesses do that. So if we just discuss a bit more then about that customization piece. So really one of the main reasons businesses choose a self-hosted option or migrate from the cloud to a self-hosted, it's the ability to customize the look and the feel of their Bitrix24 system. And the site can be customized to, let's say, match your corporate look. And the functionality that can also be configured to make using the system a lot more intuitive. And it's a massive buy-in when businesses they purchase an on-premise, and we can strip out features that aren't needed, customize the UI of the system, have your branding. So when people are coming into the Bitrix, it feels like their piece of software and it's easy to navigate. So that's where you then get buy-in from your staff and actually get value out of using the Bitrix24 system. But in terms of that customization, so styling, first of all, so many areas can be branded, and we'll take a look at this in a moment. Editing, any page can be edited, and administrators, they can create custom pages using the page editor wizard. So it allows you to create your own sections, and we'll take a look at that shortly. Something you can't do on the cloud version. If there's a feature like this that you need, we'll have to look at the self-hosted option with you. In terms of navigation, so we briefly discussed this here. So to improve that user experience and save time navigating modules, the links in the navigation panel, they are fully editable. And it's actually possible to display different navigation items for different sets of users. So if you're in sales, you might see the CRM and marketing. Whereas if you're in projects, you see projects and tasks. That's how much we could customize that menu structure, simplify it down for different teams and different departments. Okay, in terms of dashboard customization, you can create custom dashboards to display different sets of data. And obviously we've got the customer portal. So using that's available on both the cloud and the self-hosted, but it is a very big use case. And with the self-hosted, when you're inviting customers or suppliers in, we can be very flexible with what information they see and also how branded that portal is where they're coming into. And then finally, all modules are customizable. So it is possible to create your own bespoke modules to create tasks specific to your business. Okay, so let's go into our Bitrix24 system. So let's take a look here. We're inside. This is on-premise version of Bitrix. But first of all, we talked about branding first of all. So if we head over to a login page of a self-hosted version here, you can see here very different in terms of the UI of the system. It's branded with our logo and information, and we have our own domain for our instance. So you can have your own corporate identity incorporated into your Bitrix system. And if we go into one of our self-hosted systems here, what we can see first of all is we have our control panel. So we can click into the control panel. This is the back end of our Bitrix system. So you don't access this on a cloud version. It's only available on the self-hosted. And then we can start to view all of the areas now of our self-hosted solution. So we can manage all of our users from a centralized area. We can run performance and system checks through the control panel. So you really would only have this accessible to your administrators, or if you've got key staff that you need to be giving access to this area. But most staff, you wouldn't be giving them access to this area because it's a very advanced area of the Bitrix24 system that you can make a lot of changes and functionality to for your users. But I mentioned as well, in terms of customization, how we can create new content, new pages inside Bitrix. So let's take a look at how we can do that within the system here. So let's say, for example, if we go into our company module. So inside our company module, right now, we just have a sitemap. So it makes it easy for people to navigate the Bitrix24 system. So within that sitemap, what we can do is we can add additional pages into this area. So a really common page that people add is a policies page where they can company policy information in a centralized area for people to be able to view and access. So a benefit of the self-hosted is the ability to create those pages. So let's take a look at how we do this. Okay, so we go into the control panel. Let's then go into our file and folders area, and we were in the company about page there. So we go into the about section here. So first to do is we need to create a new page inside the system. So we click on to add a file, and then we can start to build out our page inside the system here. So this is the page. So first of all, we can give this page a title. Okay, so we have our page there, and then we can start to add information. Okay, so we've added that information here. Now I'm just adding some text information, but on here you could add videos, images, really any types of data and information. You can style this out on the platform. Okay, so if we save that now, so that's been added into our system. And now we've created the page, we need to add a menu item. So within the tab at the top to be able to display that data. So what we can do here is we go into the menu edit page, and we need to add our policies. So let's call this policies page. Okay, so that's now been added into the system. So if we apply that, and now we can go into the front end of our Bitrix system. Let's go back into the company page. And we can see now that policies page is now available. And we can click into that page and we can see the April 2025 policies page has now been created. So you've seen there how simple it is to create new pages 24 system. Now, what you could do with this as well, let's go back into that control panel. And if we go back into that menu item, you could configure this. So if you only wanted this page to be accessible to maybe certain people, then if we go back into this page, and if we click into the advanced mode here, we can configure what groups, users, departments are able to access this area. So this policies page here, for example, I might say that it's only available for specific user groups. And then we could select that user group from the system. So let's say for all of our online store staff, for example. So you can put in place limits to control what people are able to access, different pieces of content that you are creating in your self-hosted system. So I hope you're starting to see the amount of advanced functionality that you have on this self-hosted system, and especially if you're a Bitrix Cloud customer right now, this level of functionality that you get in addition to the cloud system, it's absolutely huge and allows you to really take the next step in incorporating Bitrix into the business as a fully managed solution that's designed how the business needs to operate. And that customization we talked about, it also links then into the extranet site. Okay, so for the extranet site where we've got our clients logging into the system, we can have that branded portal. We can customize what widgets display inside the system here, and we can then configure as well the additional widgets that display. So on the extranet page here, we can control what information is accessible for our clients, or it could be vendors that we're adding into the system. So it allows you to really customize this, the look and the feel, designed how you want your customers to see information inside of Bitrix. Okay, so that is a look there at some of the customization capabilities on our. Okay, so that is a look there at some of the customization capabilities on our self-hosted version of Bitrix24. So let's just discuss some of the advantages that you get with a self-hosted system. So I'm just going to take us back to the page here. And if you have any questions as we continue in today's session, please do just add them into our YouTube box and we can answer those questions for. Oh, actually, I can see questions come in here. What if we needed 51 users on the on-premise? So if you did need additional staff in the on-premise version, so as we mentioned, the on-premise system starts with the 50 user version. If you needed 51, you would upgrade from the business 50 to the business 100 license. And all you would do is you would pay the difference from the 50 to the 100. Okay, so it's really economical to upgrade. And then that would give you access to the business 100. So you would have 100 seats on your self-hosted system. Okay, but that's a really good question. If there are any other questions, please do add them into the comments box on YouTube. But in terms of the functionality, so we have all of the features available from the cloud system. There are some additional features available, such as the native help desk that's available inside the control panel. There's the e-learning module. And of course, as we've just seen where we're creating new content, you can create your own pages, or it's possible to create your own custom modules within the system. But if I just show you one of the more popular features, which is the help desk solution. So if we go back into our control panel, then within the control panel here, we have the ability, first of all, to create mailbox rules. So again, this is a very popular feature that is only available in the self-hosted version of Bitrix. So what we can do with this is we can create a rule that then automatically creates a support ticket inside the help desk modules. And that's critical because we have here at Interface, we have our own plugin help desk designed for the on-premise, but it's built on the front end of the Bitrix24 system. So it talks with the CRM module. So from using the control panel features here to create a rule on the mailbox, we could then automatically have tickets created inside our help desk. So if we come into, this is the plugin developed by Interface, but it uses the functionality of the on-premise system to use the mailbox rules. So if we have that mailbox connected inside the system here, we can then use that mailbox rule to have the mailbox connected to our help desk. So when somebody emails that mailbox, it automatically creates a ticket here inside our help desk system. So we can then see the stages that we're using to progress our tickets through the system. And on each of those different stages, we've got automated rules set up in the background. So we can then send out communications to the client, acknowledging their ticket, having that information automated. You can also set up triggers. So a trigger can automatically update what stage that the ticket is at inside the system. So it gives you that functionality to manage your tickets. So if we click into a ticket here, so in this example, we're at a furniture store managing service requests. So inside here, we've got a ticket for a damaged sofa. And so we can see all the information about the ticket. We can see images, everything's sent for that ticket in a uniform display. and it talks with the CRM. That's really important. So if we click into the customer's record, all of the information about that ticket is centralized here. So inside the client's record, we can see their sales opportunities, and we can see the help desk with all of the tickets that the customer is associated with. But it starts off the fundamental process. It uses the mailbox rules, which are only available in the self-hosted version of Bitrix24. Okay, so that is a look at some of the additional features and functionality. Of course, we also have integration capabilities. So as we've just seen there, using the mailbox rules to create a process within Bitrix. For example, it may be from an email, you might create a task in a work group. We can also use the API and webhooks to create custom integrations. That can also be done now with the cloud system as well. So we can use middlewares to create integrations with very popular tools such as Make, QuickBooks Online, Trello, and e-commerce platform. We do a lot of e-commerce integrations. So when an order is placed on the website, that could generate a deal inside your Bitrix24 system and have all of that information neatly uniformed inside your help desk page. Okay, so in terms of hosting options, we get a lot of questions about this. So let's just discuss what eight option capabilities are. So essentially, you've got different options. You have a choice to host in-house, or you can use a partner's hosting service. So for self-hosting, we provide a virtual appliance. This is a free application that allows Bitrix to run in a pre-configured and in a fully secured virtual environment. And this saves time on product installation and maintenance, and it also improves the overall system performance. Okay, so we can provide you with that if you want to host. The second option, partner hosting. So this is what we class as a dedicated cloud solution. So we would host this using our hosting provider, and there's quite a lot of benefits to having interface host for you. So first of all, server performance is managed by ourselves on your behalf. The server is optimized for speed, and we ensure your data is secure and fully backed up, and you can decide what that backup retention policy is. And another key benefit of this is projects can be scaled without the business having to invest in further hardware. So if we need to spec up the server, we can do that. Whereas if you were having to do this, you might have to buy a brand new server for the project. So it allows you to be very scalable with the hosting. So essentially, interface, we are specialists in managing services. Partner hosting, it saves you time. It gives you peace of mind when you're wanting to set up a self-hosted version of Bitrix24. Okay, and that leads on then to pricing. So in terms of pricing, so a license price, it starts from $3,590. That's for the business 50 version. And then there'll be a renewal fee of 50% on that license. Partner hosting, that will cost approximately $2,950 for 100 gig. And then you also need to take into consideration the cost for customization, integrations, training, and ongoing support. The self-hosted version, the most advanced version of Bitrix, we really wouldn't recommend implementing this product without training and dedicated support in place. We are the number one on-premise partner with over 10 years of experience in the on-premise solution. So we can help to get your Bitrix24 on-premise system set up how you need it to work, and also in terms it's set up for longevity, so you can maximize the value that you get out of your Bitrix24 system moving forward. Okay, so in summary today, we've seen how the self-hosted version of Bitrix24 is a fully customizable Bitrix24 solution. We've seen how we can use integrations and use extra features such as mailbox rules to create additional functionality within the Bitrix24 system, and use the control panel to create brand new pages and content within the Bitrix24 platform. And as we've discussed, if you're currently on a cloud version of Bitrix, we can migrate you to an on-premise solution if you want to take advantage of some of these additional features. Okay, so here are a selection of our up and coming webinars. So we're here every other Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I hope you can join us. Please register at intraface.com/webinars. And thank you very much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you all again in the near future. Bye for now.